Welcome back to your 30-day Qi Gong journey, and this is lesson 3. We're going to continue much as before. I'm going to introduce one additional movement. So we're going to go and do boat rowing in a stream of air again for a while. I'm not going to give you any more coaching and tips for now, but we can just kind of work on that movement and solidify a little bit. But I'm going to add an additional movement today. Just try and follow along, and then same as last time, in the next session I'll provide some useful hints and tips, key points to help flesh that out a little bit. It's a cold, rainy day here in the UK, so I've got a jumper on. So, and depending on what the temperature's like, you might want to put some warm clothes on as well. Good. Let's get started. So. As normal, we're going to start with some basic movements just to get everything loosened off, stretch out, get some blood moving into the joints, and then we'll have a little stretch, do some standing, do a little bit of the boat rowing in a stream of air, just to get everything nice and energized, get the legs and lower back activated, and then I'll introduce this new movement, and then we'll finish off with some breathing. So we're going to lie down and do some breathing from the lower back. Good. Okay, so as per normal, feet shoulder width apart, bend the knees slightly, lightly tuck the pelvis. And by what I mean by that is that you don't want the bum sticking out like this, or the chest pumped up really high. You want this feeling, that the pelvis is just lightly tucked under, and rather than the chest pulling up, the chest and the diaphragm is relaxed. Good. So bend the knees and begin. Breathe in as the hands come up, and then out as they go down. In and out. Bend the knees a little bit more. Up and down. Up and down. Breathe in and out. In as the hands go up. Out as the hands go down. Hands and legs all coordinated together. Fix the hands, bend the knees. We're just going to do breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Now the other one. The other hand still has this sort of floating feeling, like it's suspended. In as the hands go up and now we'll do both. go a little bit wider, bend the legs a little bit more. Hands hang down and turn your waist and let the hands follow. Just nice and loose and heavy. So this is called the first swing. There's a few different ways that you can do this. Just let the waist turn and the legs follow. And the arms are just floppy and relaxed, right? They're just hanging down by my sides. And then as I turn my waist, that just causes them to spiral out. And they just lightly hit you on the belly and on the side. Turn the waist, let everything move together. Don't keep the head fixed forward. Let everything move. One straight vertical axis. Keep the knees bent and just turn the waist. Open up. Just do this for a few more minutes. Really good if you've got a lot of tension, you've been sitting down all day. Just do one of these swing exercises and get everything moving again. And you can do this more slowly if you like, or you can do it quite fast. Yeah. Okay. Just slowly settle down. Be mindful of that movement and just feel that slight sense of rocking forwards and back, still just carrying on. Good. We'll do one of the warm-ups we did last time. So the 2 overlapping circles. We'll just coach you a little bit more in this movement. So we'll start off with just one hand, right? So just let this one hang down by your side, and it's going to do a big circle. Sort of like a wax on, wax off kind of movement, right? Big circle, but it's not done like this, right? In fact, the hand doesn't really move much at all. It's my waist that moves. Right? So my waist moves, and that causes the hand to move in a big circle. Yeah, so start with just the left hand. A couple more. Good. And the right hand. Yeah. So if I wasn't moving my waist, my hand would just be going like this, right? But because I'm moving my waist, I'm making a circle. So it's not this. Yeah, this is all arm, right? I want your body to move and the hand to follow. Good. And 2 together. Slow down a little bit. Or we can go a little bit faster, a little bit more momentum. Good, okay, everything should be nice and loosened off, everything moving. We did a couple of really nice opening exercises there just to stretch out, and the swing is really great. I'll come back and give you some more coaching, and we'll build on that movement to allow you to do some stepping and moving with it as well. Good, okay, let's start off with our stretch. So we'll do shoulder rolls to start with. Remember, these are rotational exercises, so you just want nice, full movement within the range that you're comfortable with, and you're just trying to open up the joints, move them throughout their full range of motion, and try and lubricate the joints, ligaments and tendons. If you've got any pain or cracking, then back off a little bit, do a smaller range of motion, and then just try and build that up over time. Good. So I've warmed up a little bit now, so I'm going to just take the jumper off. Right, so next step, interlace the fingers, and we're going to do a stretch through the upper body. So behind the head, push up nice and straight, elbows by the ears if you can, and then feel like you're pushing down into the floor with your heels as you push up through the palms. Good. Next one, I'm going to just do these lateral side bends. So one hand just slides down the leg, and the other hand is still reaching up and over. And feel the stretch down here through the side abdominal muscles and in the lat. Good. This hand comes back up. Make sure you push through and everything's nice and straight. This one comes down and slide down the other side. And yeah, back up to center, and then let everything come down. Good. We're going to do a toe touch. So just side on this time, just so you can get a different angle. Feet shoulder width or just slightly inside of shoulder width. You don't necessarily need to lock everything out really tight. We're more looking to let the lower back expand and the joints open up rather than have a really tight hamstring stretch. So slowly bending from the hips, get to where you're comfortable, and then just hang and relax. Yeah. So you see, I'm not really pushing really hard there. Just get to the point where there is some tightness in the hamstrings. And then feel like the whole top of the body, the arms are loose, the head is loose, the jaw is relaxed, and everything just hangs down. Do a few breaths here. Bend the knees, come up. Good, okay. And we'll do the ankles and knees. So you can grab hold of something if you want, or you can just stand on one leg if you're happy doing that. And just so you can see, what I'm going to do is just going to do ankle rotations. Right, so I'll just leave that so you can see. Nice big circles. Again, we're trying to work on the stabilization in the other ankle at the same time. So we're stretching and rotating one ankle, and then we're balancing on the other one, which is building some strength and stabilization on the other leg. And change the direction, nice big circles. And then we're going to do pull back the toe and then point. Pull back, point. Pull back, point. Good. And then change over to the other side. So again, if you need to hang on to something, do so. But ultimately, we want to get to that point where we can quite comfortably, balance, he says, right, on one leg. Yeah. So in this one, rotations. And then the other way. And we want that nice sense of stillness and stability. And then pull back, point, pull back, point, pull back, and point. And of course we're getting the legs and the core working a little bit as well there. Good, and then we're going to do some hip rotations, so just nice big circles. You can support the lower back if you want. Full range of motion, making sure the hip's moving through all the positions that it can. Good, and next one we're going to do some knee and ankle rotations. So bend the knees, both hands on the knees, and then you're just going to come up and round, right? So you do a small circle, down and then up. Again, this is a rotational stretch, so you don't want any pain. If you've got any discomfort in the knees, then back off and do a, just do a smaller circle with less of a squat as you come down. Good, and the other way, change direction. Good, just a couple, bend, half squats. Good, excellent. Okay, so again, every week I'll add a few more stretches. In the next couple of videos, I'll also do some floor stretches, right? So, and we'll just build up a repertoire so that over time you'll be able to say, oh, maybe I'm a bit tight here, shoulders feel a bit tight, okay, I'll do this stretch, right? Oh, I've got some tension in my hamstrings, okay, I could do a couple of different hamstring stretches so that you can build that awareness to be able to loosen off the areas that you feel are tight. Excellent, let's crack on with our standing meditation. So, same as always, we go shoulder width or just outside of shoulder width. Try and keep the legs in line, so they're like parallel, they're like train tracks that are pointing forward. And most people, they tend to point out a little bit, some people point in a little bit. You want them to be nice and parallel and in line. Same again, hips relaxed, and then you want a little bit of activation in the core, and just enough to keep you suspended, but it's not like you're doing a plank or something, or you're about to brace and squat or something, everything really tight. It's not like that. It's just a little bit of light activation. It feels like it's like the bottom part of my belly is just pulling forward like on a string. It almost feels like lightly like that, right? Like that my body weight is concentrated below my navel, right? So I'm not walking around like this with my weight up in my chest, right? Which is very good, especially for guys, right? It's like this kind of military posture, right? The weight is all up here, right? Instead, you want that to relax and you feel like the weight is down here, so you're moving like your body weight is down right down the base of your spine, or 2 inches below the navel. So again, feet shoulder width apart, bend the knees slightly, body weight sunk and low, chest relaxed, chin slightly tucked, feel like you're pulling up from the top of your head. And then we'll start. And you can do this with either eyes closed or eyes open. You want that feeling of like a relaxed, warm gaze. So just like you're looking off into the middle distance, eyes nice and comfortable, not looking at anything in particular. in. I do add this extra posture. So this is a really good one if your hands get tired in any of the other postures, right? So it's just it's sort of the most neutral position that you can be in with the correct alignment. So there's a little bit of expansion underneath the armpits, and then the arms just hang, shoulders down. Good, and close, breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Okay, so we're going to carry on with our next, with our movement from last time, so which is my favourite sort of, initial long Qigong pose to do, which is a movement called boat rowing in a stream of air. Okay, so we're going to carry on from where we were last time. So I'm going to do it at about a 45-degree angle this time. So you can, so now you've got it from the front, the side, and at about 45 degrees. So same again as last time. Feet just beyond double shoulder width apart. Make sure that the feet are pointing out. Right, so as I was saying, feet double shoulder width apart. Rotate external, so yeah, we're at about 45 degrees here. So feet externally rotated, so this is to make sure our glutes and everything are activated. So just roll those out a little bit. And remember that it's not a squat, it's more like a deadlift. You're going to sit back into the hips, yeah? And just slowly. Not too deep to start with. Last couple. Good. Excellent. So, next movement, just try and follow along and copy me as best you can. So, feet shoulder width wide, bend the knees slightly, and begin by feeling like you're being pulled by your elbow to each side. then slowly loose it off until it's just both hands coming forward. Waist turns, hand follows. It's kind of like I'm hauling myself down a rope, yeah? Just without the pulling part. Grab the rope, grab the rope, grab the rope, grab the rope, grab the rope. Brilliant, excellent. So that's our second movement. Like I said, tomorrow I'll come back and we'll do some more detailed coaching on it for now. It is a little bit tricky, that one, so we'll spend the next few days just coaching and building up some skills in that movement pattern. All right. Okay, like I said, I'm just going to get set up and we'll go down to some lying and we'll focus on some breathing today, some practicing the deep abdominal breathing that we use throughout all of these movements. So here we are again, down on the floor for our last exercise of the day. We're going to be doing some breathing practice, right? So we're going to work specifically with the breath, and we're going to do it from a lying down position with the knees raised, right? I'll show you in just a second. The reason why we do this is that it's a really good position to really feel because the base of the lower back and the spine around here, they all have good contact with the ground. So when you try and do a complete abdominal breath, most people can get the front part where the belly expands and sort of feels like it's filling with air, but they don't tend to feel the lower back and the bit at the back so much. But if you're in this posture, it can really help bring your awareness there. And so as you're doing your deep abdominal breaths, it feels like the entire body, lower body, is going like a ball and filling with air and then collapsing, right? So that's the sensation that we're trying to look for today. Deep, full, long, soft, light, and full breath, yeah? So light as in, I mean, you don't want to be forcing anything, right? So if my count is too long on the breaths, just you do it at whatever length of breath that you feel comfortable with. Over time, the breath will deepen and lengthen, but it's not to be forced, right? So you don't force anything with the breath. You keep it really relaxed, right? The breath is the agent for softening and relaxation. So you don't want to bring your tension and your hang-ups and your, got to do 110% to the way that you breathe, right? Just allow it to be soft and long and relaxed. So as for last time with any of this breath stuff, you might need any time that you're lying down on the floor or sitting, you might want a pillow. So I'm going to use one today. So I'm just going to use that for my head. Right. So let's, I'm just going to move you around a little bit so you can see from the side. Right, so I'm going to just sit on this pillow, and then, as I said, so rather than the legs being flat like this and then the lower back tends to be off the floor, you're just going to push this, and then what you do is just lightly tuck the hips underneath so that you have really good contact with the lower back. And now bring your hands on top and just place them both over your dantian, just 2 inches below the navel. And we're going to start with the breathing. So to start off with, just let your breathing be natural to start with. And you can close your eyes and just try and relax. Feel the contact between the body and the ground. And just a nice black velvety softness as the eyes are closed. Just stay there for a moment or two and just try to relax as much as possible. Now bring your focused and relaxed intention to your breathing. And we're going to be doing deep abdominal breathing. And we're just going to count. So we're going to breathe in. 1. And out. 2. 3. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if you like, you can continue in your own time and just carry on doing those deep abdominal breaths. Feel like the whole belly, lower back, everything underneath the diaphragm just expands as you breathe in, and then just softens and contracts as you breathe out. Yeah, nice. Awesome. And then you can open your eyes, slowly bring some movement to the body, and slowly sit up. Good. Excellent. So, hold back a little bit so you can see me. So that's just a really nice little exercise that you can do if you're struggling with your breathing and that it's sort of shallow or tense, and you don't feel that the breath is something that brings you that peaceful, mindful relaxation, then this is a really excellent drill. So whenever I tried to practice breathing when I was first learning, it's kind of difficult and confusing because you're focusing on the movements and you're trying to, it's just another thing, and you end up getting tense and tight, and it doesn't do its job of trying to help you relax. So if you just separate it out and just practice on the ground with you're the only thing that you're focusing on, or sitting is good as well, like, cross-legged or supported in a chair, like that takes away a lot of the focus, and it brings it directly to the breath. And I found the best results with breath training when you do it in these kind of lying postures. And again, like I said, every few days or so we might come back and do some extra work and do some more cues and support to help with the breathing. Excellent. And I hope that you have a good day and it's not as rainy and miserable as it is with me. We've been inside all day, and yeah, it would be nice if it wasn't raining the whole time. But I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the next day of our 30-day Qi Gong journey. See you soon. Bye.